Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Starcraft Thursday. I am your host Zoronden, and today's matchup is a TVT in the Grandmaster League between, in the sort of top right corner, PolkaDodge, the red Terran, and in the sort of bottom left, we have the blue Terran, MiStoicWilly. MiStoic? I think it's MiStoic. Anyways, Willy and Polka. So, just give you some quick update on the channel while we do this nice StarCraft game. I did manage to do a little bit of writing today for both Zever Productions shorts and the WoW kind of scripted entertainment I want to do. So that stuff is coming along. It's probably going to be a week or two before we see the first WoW thing I am doing, but that should be on its way. And in the meantime, I did start my careless exploration of Pandaria, so you can check that out. But let's get to StarCraft, because StarCraft is completely different than World of Warcraft, and I'm not going to talk about that inside of StarCraft Thursday anymore. So, Willy here is throwing up his wall in, and PolkaDodge opting not to go for the wall in. So, we are seeing a little bit different play out of the two players. We're not getting any mirror builds here, so we'll have to see how each player is going to react to that. And TVT is kind of in the middle of the mirror matchups for me. Protoss is typically kind of the most boring and considered one of the most useless matchups there is, but it definitely can be entertaining, and the matches are typically quick. And ZVZ I tend to like a lot, just because you get the crazy banelings not wanting to hit each other and trying to hit each other and that kind of play. I enjoy that a lot. But TVT definitely sits in the middle ground. There's considerable boring aspects to it, but there's also some real fun aspects to it. So hopefully these players will make this game entertaining as well. We do have a little bit of banter going on between the two players. Just some friendly talk. Saying that Zerg is easy. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Both players throwing down their expansions. So the wall in is now complete for Willy. PolkaDodge will not get into his base, so he can build some super secret base structures down there, get some tech. Maybe do a 1-1-1 at this time. Could throw Dodge off on that, but we'll just have to wait and see, especially with his supply depot down. Oh, but is he gonna raise that depot? Oh, he gets in. Of course, there's not a ton of information to see. However, he is gonna notice that there is a double refinery up. So a little bit of scouting, not terribly of use. We do have a 3 racks coming out by Dodge, so he might be looking at some aggression here soon, while obviously Willy is sitting on 1. So there's a definite difference there. And Dodge just saturated his natural, but his main's kind of unsaturated, so it's just a movement of units. I'm not really sure why he did that. That's a loss of income realistically. And now Willy putting down barracks of his own. So both players are going to have 3 racks. However, PolkaDodge is considerably ahead as his are done. And he's thrown a tech lab down himself. So both players... Oh, that's a reactor. I thought that was a tech lab. So we might see a Marine heavy army out of Willy, where we might get a Marine Marauder ball out of Dodge. And that could be the definite difference in this match. An interesting development. And okay, that's a factory. He is getting 3 racks, but the 3rd rack was a lot later than I thought. And he actually ended up getting a factory. And he's now throwing a tech lab on that. So we'll have to see if he's going to get some tanks, or if he's going to use that for one of his barracks, or maybe pop out a starport. And I thought I saw, yes, an engineering bay finished by PolkaDodge. So getting some nice upgrades there. And PolkaDodge just seems to have the definite lead throughout this game. He's got his 3 racks going, getting double reactors, so he's going to be pumping lots of Marines. He's now throwing down that factory, getting upgrades. He got his expansion a little bit earlier. And, okay, now Willy's saturated on both sides. And pretty much even in the worker count. Willy's got a few less Marines at this point. Oh, and he just lost one. I'm not really... he sent somebody up to the middle, it looks like. Sacrificial lamb for the slaughter. Anyways, very mirrored play, as I was saying. Here comes the starport, though, by Willy. I was thinking he was going to get that. As well as siege tank shields. So, he's going to go a more defensive stance, at least for now. We'll have to see if he's going to go for... And indeed he is, as I was just wondering. Grabbing medevacs instead of Banshee play or anything like that. And Banshee play can definitely be hard against Terran, especially in a mirror matchup. Because, you know, the other Terran's going to have so many Marines. He's going to have scans. It's just, it can be very difficult to perform a well-executed Banshee play. Obviously, PolkaDodge has maintained map control most of this game as he's sitting on the watchtower. However, Willy is running around with a Marine or two. And he is now marching out. He's going to do a shield push. So let's see if he can do some damage. Unfortunately, he doesn't have stim. And Dodge does. And that is very likely going to be the difference in this little attack. Here comes Dodge's army. Heck, I think he's even got more Marines in that army. There's a medevacs and some tanks. If he waits for these tanks instead of accidentally engaging here, which he's about to do, Dodge needs to stim and take these guys out right now, and he does, and they're forced to retreat. The tanks are sieging. They're a little out of position. He could rush in there. He needs to rush in on the tanks, losing units needlessly. Well defended by Dodge. He could have rushed in on those tanks earlier and lost less. Sounds weird, but it's right. And now Dodge is getting a little ambitious. Needs to pull back. Free Marine kill there. Second free Marine kill there. Third, almost a third. And that tank kind of forcing Dodge to be careful about his options here. Splits up, goes in. Boom, a bunch die from the siege tank. And that siege tank is now going to go down, but he's lost some bad blocking on units. However, Dodge is still able to push. Reinforcements are now arriving. But neither player choosing Marauders at all, just Marine balls, as is typical with a lot of Terran play, or TVT play. Nice little drop here by PolkaDodge. Committing a few units, pops another tank. That is getting costly on Willy's behalf. It's nice positioning by this tank. Pretty much cleans up that attack from Dodge. It's a well-placed tank. Getting that quick repair on that reactor to not lose that. Nice call there. Needs to get that medevac out of there, though. If Willy spots that, he will knock it out. There it goes, rushing on, well, maybe not home, but at least back into the center. And Willy's grabbing the third. Interesting. Not a bad time to do it, as Dodge's attack has been kind of thwarted, but it is going to be nice and squishy over there, off on its own. And Willy's setting a Marine over here. He is going to see this command center dropping down, or at least attempting to drop down, as Willy's going to start shooting at it. So, as you can see with this mirror matchup, both players going for expands right about the 12-minute mark, right about the same time. And a little bit of Marine on Marine combat. I thought Willy had the first shot, but indeed I think he did. But unfortunately, Dodge has that stim, and that just stopped that. And here comes Willy, knowing that command center's there. He knows there's some squishy units out and about on the field, and he wants to pop them. So here he comes, sieging up his tanks. Only brought 2. Not sure if he has more, but those first few Marines go down super easy to the siege. He needs to move. We moved 1 tank, so he's siege hopping. SCV's going down for free. Dodge not really reacting to this. Kind of cold on his feet here. Dead Marines everywhere. Here comes a nice little group, but that, yeah, they need to pull back. That is a waste of Marines to send those in. Suddenly, Dodge is in a bit of trouble. He needs to pull these siege tanks up to the front line. One up here to do some nice defense for that ramp, but he needs to take these two bad boys up as well. I suppose he's just kind of afraid of a drop. And here comes some more reinforcements from Willy. Another tank that will bolster his attack here considerably. And this medevac's going to kind of test the ledge. Those Marines pop them off. Oh, popping both medevacs off. And that tank gets sieged out by these repositioned tanks. Disgusting. Oh, and just like he just stemmed there and stood still. And a second stem. Don't like to see that, but he does get a nice surround there. All the units go down, including the tank and the medevacs. Yucky yuck. Doing a load up here. Is he gonna do a drop? Single medevac drop. I don't see that doing a lot of damage at this time. So both players have been kind of kept off of their expansions. Willy, just because I think he's spending money everywhere else. Actually, he's not. He's got over $1,000. And Dodge has been just pushed out of there. As he is, wow, look at those production tabs. Just every player, both players, every player, building a ton of junk. Willy's popping up. Look at all these racks going up. He knows he's got a ton of money and needs to spend. Throwing up heck, he's even throwing up an armory. Getting a second eBay, so he's going to be pumping out double upgrades. But here comes Dodge pushing across the map, siege hopping, and Willy knows this and is running home with his tail between his legs. He is in trouble. He needs to get his tanks up on the line. Does he? Oh, he only has one tank at this point. This is bad news for Willy. Gets those medevacs up front as well. He's going to need every single unit. Dodge is going to pop out the destructible rocks here and squish this third very soon. Oh, and a couple more not SCVs. God, those things. Mules coming down. The siege tanks see that. They blow that up. No cancel. Here comes Willy trying to defend. Quick stem there by Dodge. Just juicing those Marines on both ends. And that third's going to be popped. And there, Willy is forced to call the GG. So, again, in this mirror kind of matchup, they really mostly build the same units. Marine, tank, and medevac balls. And it came down to Dodge getting some nice defense in, some nice pushes, and squishing those tanks when Willy just wasn't defending them right properly. So, congrats to PolkaDodge, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Starcraft Thursday. I am, of course, Zoronden. Please do subscribe, and I haven't said this in a while. If you want me to cast your Starcraft 2 games, my email address is in the information below. Send them on over. I might just cast them, and I'd be excited to do so. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.